Why are we here? Is there a purpose to any of this existence? Is there meaning to any of it? Are we just meant to live and to die, or maybe to, go back and be part of the universe? Well, in fact, there is a roadmap of where we are and where we're headed and what we're destined for. You'll actually be surprised at how detailed it really is. So let's take a look at this roadmap. So to answer that question of why we're here, we need to first of all ask, who are we? Or what are we, to be more accurate? Because if we want to know why we're here and where we're headed, then we need to first know what we are. 20 years ago, when I was a teenager, I had this interest in understanding reality. I just wanted to know how things work, how everything works. I studied in university, I did my bachelor's in physics, and I really went to study physics just for one reason. I wanted to know, to understand reality. It's not something new, actually. Scientists, they've always been trying to find like this simple, elegant explanation of reality. Because for those of you who, know a little maths or physics, then you know that if the solution isn't elegant, then you know that it's incomplete. And you know that there can be a more elegant solution. And when I came across the wisdom of Kabbalah, and I heard this, I was really amazed. After the military, I was traveling in Australia, and I took a Kabbalah book with me. I remember as I was reading this, I was blown away. So I'm going to tell you what blew me away. Kabbalists explain that everything in reality is the desire. That's it. The will to receive pleasure. Every single thing. Everything you look at, touch, everything you feel inside, all of your complex emotional states, they're all driven by this simple, single formula. Reality equals a will to receive pleasure. That's it. Now we can ask, where did we come from? So this is where we're going to go to the diagram. So where did we come from? We came from a state that's called Ein Sof. Translated, it means infinity, but it also means no end. Ein Sof. En means no, and Sof means end, that it has no end. And this is where we came from. This is where our, you could say, desire was forged or created, or however you want to call it. And this is actually where we're headed back to. We're headed back to that state of infinity. But between us and this state currently, there is an entire system of worlds. Let's take a look at it. So what is this system of worlds that is between us and Ein Sof? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. In Hebrew, it's actually shoresh, so that's root. And then there's the first phase, and the second, bet, and the third, gimel, and the fourth is daled. And you can also look at it as a form of havaya, which is yud, hey, vav, and hey. And here is the tip of the yud. So the yud has a tip on top of it. So this is the tip of the yud at stage 0. So this is phases, it's called. And this is called havaya. And then next we have Sefirot, Keter, then we have Chokhmah, then we have Binah, then we have Zer Anpin, and then we have Malchut. So these are Sefirot. And then we also have, you could look at it as senses. The senses are vision, hearing, smell, touch, and taste. And don't get confused, this is not talking about our corporeal material senses. It's talking about spiritual senses that are named according to our corporeal ones, but they are the root of our corporeal senses. And we can also look at it in partsufim. So partsufim, we have Galgalta, we'll just call it GA, and then we have Ab, Sag, Ma, and Bon. We also have worlds, and worlds, well, Adam Kadmon here, Ak, and then Atzilut, Beriah, Yetzirah, and Asiyah. And last one, lights. Yechidah, Chaya, Neshama, Ruach, and Nefesh. All right, that's it, we're done. And where are we in this whole diagram? So, don't mean to disappoint you, we are below all of this in what we call this world. We are here. And all of these are different forms which together build 125 degrees, steps. So it's built like this. There are 5 worlds. Usually it's interpreted like this. So there are 5 worlds, and in every world there are 5 partzufim. So 5 partzufim in every world, and in every partzuf there are 5 sefirot. So do the math. 5 times 5 times 5 equals 125 degrees. And every one of these degrees is really a level deeper into attaining these forces. What's the difference between every spiritual degree? So the difference is, you could say, like the resolution. So let's say you attain a certain spiritual object in, the first degree, in Asiyah of Asiyah of Asiyah. Or if you want to call it, you can also say the world of Asiyah, of Partzuf Bon, and Sphira of Malchut. Or you can also call it Malchut of Malchut of Malchut. It doesn't really matter. The entire structure here is fractal. So you can zoom in and you can discover the same structure over and over again. And actually, what you discover in this entire structure is actually one structure. And that is a structure, just to make it a little bit more confusing, because we don't have enough names and numbers here. So this entire structure here that you discover is a structure of the 10 Sefirot, which sometimes also goes by the name of the Tree of Life. We're here in order to climb back up these 125 degrees. Every one of these degrees is another level of revelation. And every one of these levels is a deeper and deeper connection to this entire system. And not this system that's detached from reality. This system which is the driving forces of reality, of every occurrence in this world, every grain of sand and emotion and incident and coronavirus and world wars and famine and personal loss and job promotions and spouse and children. Everything that you can imagine in this world is simply an outcome of these spiritual degrees, of these 125 steps. So every degree you rise, you basically start attaining the structure that is the foundation of everything that exists. So that's why we're here. We're here to rise back to this state of Ein Sof. So this state of Ein Sof is actually a state of infinite fulfillment. That's what it is. Infinite pleasure. So even the greatest pleasure you can imagine in this world, imagine the greatest form of fulfillment, it's only a spark of the potential that we have to be fulfilled by. And that's the method of Kabbalah. Kabbalah, for those of you who don't know, is the Hebrew word of reception. That's all it is. It's a method of how to receive to the max. That's why we're here.